guys, Camilla here and welcome to my YouTube channel and blog, and today I will be creating a Valentine's Day card, although to be honest you could use it any time of the year for your loved one. It's an extra special card for me as it was more handmade than others, as I did a big part of it freehand, inspired by Vicky Papayonau, I hope I pronounced it well, and her countless and beautiful art journals. I am working on a Nina Solar White smooth cardstock. And with a few corrections, I've drawn a zipper and it's opened all the way down, and you'll see it come to shape later on. And for now, I'm gonna create my own stencils, or rather a bunch of mini stencils using a Lawn Fawn Hearts die set. And for that, I'm gonna use transparency, and you'll see why it would be a perfect material for our stencil in this particular project. I'm cutting my acetate into squares, and then I'm gonna die cut heart on each one of those squares. And here you can see the little stencils. And these are perfect stencils because they're easy to clean and long lasting. So because I will be stenciling hearts in the center of my zipper, I'm now using my post-it notes to create masks on the outer side. And I found that it's easiest to basically just put your post-it note over your penciled line and go over them once again, and then just cut it off with your scissors and just adhere it where you needed it to be. I did the same for all the other edges. And now I'm gonna start stenciling my hearts. I'm using sponge daubers and the first stencil with the tiniest heart, and I'm using Barn Door Distress ink. I'm going to gradually make my hearts bigger, and I'm also going to change colors in a rainbow order. My second color is Worn Lipstick, and I still will be using the same small heart. And at the moment you don't really see the difference between Barn Door and Worn Lipstick, but when the ink dries it will be quite distinctive. Next up is last year's Carved Pumpkin. It's a new color from last year. I really love this vibrant orange, and I'm also gonna use the same tiny heart. And now for the yellow Mustard Seed, I'm gonna use a slightly bigger heart. Next color is Squeezed Lemonade, and I must say with this project adding those hearts was my favorite part, and I actually created 2 more cards because I just thought that maybe I could create this zipper a little bit nicer. I didn't like the other 2. I thought this one was the best, so that's how I left it, but I still enjoyed adding those hearts over and over. So now for Twisted Citron, really beautiful, bright kind of neon-y green. And I just wanted to remind you that all the supplies that I used for this project will be listed in my blog post that I will link underneath the video in the description box. Next color is Cracked Pistachio, a beautiful pastel green. And once again I'm changing the size of the heart, so I'm taking my third stencil. And to be honest, I was thinking afterwards that I could have just used the tiniest hearts and it would look just as beautiful, if not better. So if you will try to recreate this card, go with that and see how that looks, if you would like. And next color is Mermaid Lagoon. I really love this color, it's one of my favorites. But to be honest, I think all the colors that were released last year are my favorite now. It looks a little bit deep and right now, but when it dries it's beautiful. This kind of like a lagoon blue. For the next color I'll be using Blueprint Sketch, another gorgeous and vibrant one from actually 2015. I was wrong before saying that it was from 2016. They all came out in 2015. Time flies. So as you can see, I also swapped to a bigger heart once again here. And then I swapped to purple, which is Wilted Violet. Also a vibrant purple color, beautiful addition to Seedless Preserves and Dusty Concord. And now I'm gonna go in with seedless preserves. And my last biggest hearts will be in pink, which is picked raspberry. I then added a few little hearts along the way. And time for the reveal. I love this part. Always when taking off the masking paper, you can see how the whole project shapes up. And so now I'm gonna go in with a multi-liner by Faber-Castell around my lines where the zipper will be. I've drawn my own zip fastener. I also went over it with my multi-liner, and I colored it in using my silver gel pen with, which has a lot of sparkle to it. And then I decided to add more of that sparkle silver gel pen to where the actual zipper would be. And here's a bit of a close-up of how sparkly the zipper looks like now. I really like it next to this rainbow burst of hearts. And now I'm adding a little element to be underneath my zip fastener. I'm adding some foam tape underneath it to pop it for a little bit of dimension. I rounded two corners with my corner puncher. Added some fun foam underneath my front panel, and then I went in with my clear glitter Wink Stella on my hearts. And a little tip here, just make sure you go over exactly the shape of the heart, otherwise you're gonna smudge the ink because Distress ink reacts with water. To prevent further smudging, I used some Distress glaze and I went over all my hearts. And now I'm actually gonna freehand the sentiment as well, because I just didn't have the one that I wanted in my stash. And I just wanted it to say, "You opened my heart." So I used some quickie glue to write my sentiment. I then used some Silver Wow embossing powder, and then I erased my pencil lines. And even though my handwriting is not perfect, I think because the sentiment was exactly what I wanted, it worked beautifully with the card. So that finishes the card for today. Thank you so much for watching. I also would like to let you know that I read all of your comments and I try to reply as much as I can. Remember that all the supplies are listed in my blog post linked in the description down below the video. Thanks again for watching and have a great day. Bye!